my name is Heather. I'm one of the owners of Lake Missoula Tea Company, and I'm here with Ganilla, who is our research and development lead at Lake Missoula Tea Company, and we are starting tea talks for the first time, and we'll be sharing them on YouTube and other various social media platforms. And the purpose of these tea talks is, a while ago we realized we have over 150 blends, and we're getting them from all over the world, and we're blending a lot of blends. We have a lot of functional blends. That means blends that are good for you. We have an inordinate, a large amount of blends that on the surface, it's really hard to, it might be difficult or challenging to get a sense of what those teas are about. And we're like, you know what better way than to share and talk about this and just really dive into some of these teas. And hopefully, if you're watching and listening to this, you'll walk away with a better understanding of what we intended for that particular blend and a general understanding of tea and how it fits into your life and how it can make you a healthier person. Do you have anything to add to that? Kind of the intention behind Tea Talks?
Well, we're gonna share teaware. We're gonna share optimal ways of brewing specific types of tea. There's many different ways to prepare tea that might not be obvious, and we'll go into detail about temperature and time and all that good stuff that makes a good cup of tea.
Yeah, we're hoping to expand your vocabulary around tea so that when you taste something, you're like, oh yeah, that has like a malty mouthfeel. Well, what's mouthfeel? And what's malty? And what's astringent? And what's bitter? And so we're going to kind of share our opinions, and this is kind of in an informal setting. We sometimes have notes and we know the teas that we're tasting, but we're sharing our knowledge of what we had in the tea world. And so Lake Missoula Tea Company has been around, this is in its 12th year. Yeah, and Ganilla has been with us, you're going into your 6th year, I think.
In April, I've been here 6 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's really awesome, actually. And she and I have worked with these teas really intimately and closely and been frustrated with it and been excited about it. And so we decided today to introduce you, or we didn't, actually Ganilla chose this one. She chose to talk about Beat the Snot because right now we're in the season of allergies. And whether
I've been itching.
Okay.
I've been itchy a lot, so I've been drinking this nonstop for the past week.
Okay, yeah.
To try and calm my personal allergies. Yeah.
So almost no matter where you are in the United States, you're probably feeling that at some level, or noticing other people are sneezing, itchy eyes. What do you have?
Itchy eyes, like just my skin's itchy.
Got it.
From top to toe. Yeah.
Okay.
And I get like sneezy, like tickles in my nose.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
All right. So Ganilla's going to start brewing.
I'm going to start brewing because in the botanical world, you want to steep it a little longer than a traditional tea.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when we say tea to us is Camellia sinensis, which has caffeine, and we're not talking about tea today. We're talking about a botanical, or some people would call it tisane,
herbal tea.
Sure.
Yeah. And just because it's herbal doesn't necessarily mean that it's caffeine free. So always check.
This is a good example of that.
Yeah, because the yerba mate, which is an ingredient, is naturally caffeinated. So always be mindful if you're sensitive to that.
So while this is brewing, I'm going to talk a little bit about the brewing and some kind of brewing technique here, but we're going to go over each of the ingredients and why it's included in this particular blend, like its purpose. But so Ganilla measured out 5 grams here earlier, and we're shooting for 5 grams as a standard for Lake Missoula Tea Company when we brew tea. So if you're brewing, it's like a tablespoon is going to give you 5 grams. And we do that because we know it's going to fit 16 ounces. 16 ounces is 2 cups. And we found that that's a good amount to drink. Like when people drink it at our tea bar, which we have in downtown Missoula, they'll drink it and it's a good amount just to be done. They don't leave hardly any in it, and they don't really want any more, generally speaking. She weighed it. We have the luxury of having a scale because we're a company and all that stuff. If you have one, great. It's not necessary. Tablespoon would get you there. And then when she brewed, she poured in water that had just boiled. So 212 is boiling. That was probably 210 when you poured it in. And you set a timer for
6 minutes.
And the catch with herbals, botanicals, is that if there's a healthy intention to it, the longer you can brew it, the more you're going to extract the healthy properties out of it. However, you may not want to drink it with those healthy properties completely extracted out because it can get kind of bitter and intense and strong.
Yeah.
On our bags, we list the time that we recommend for it to taste pretty good. Excellent.
Yeah.
So maybe you can sometimes want to do it longer. It's up to you, but that's a really good starting point. Here's the blend itself. It's called Beat the Snot Out of You. And it gets really popular in spring because we were saying it's also like an allergy tea. So let's just start with ginger.
Yes. So all these ingredients are intentionally picked for this blend because they have certain properties that are good and helpful for allergies and sinus like infections and everything.
I'll state that we're not doctors. We're not necessarily herbalists, but we do our research when we put a blend together. We do have an herbalist on staff and we do consult with her. But this is a blend that if you were having, like Ganilla's saying, this is an allergy time, we'll start drinking this. You know, it's a great time to have this tea. And so when spring comes around, better get myself some Beat the Snot. We get a lot of feedback on this blend also that people find that it's effective with their body.
Yeah. The next one is yerba mate. It is an anti-inflammatory, and it has caffeine, so it's a natural. It gives you a little boost if you're feeling down and tired and like you're just drenched and like blah. The mate will help you feel like perk up a little bit, which is amazing. Do you want to add something to the mate?
More that it's a small percentage of the blend. You'll get that, but if you're really sensitive to a stimulant, don't drink it before you go to bed. But if there's so many ingredients here that it's not going, like if you want caffeine or you want a stimulant, this is not the blend to go to.
Oh yeah, no.
But that it does exist, so be aware of that. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Next one is rooibos. Rooibos is a plant, a little brush kind of from South Africa. It's endemic to South Africa.
Yep. It's the base of this. So we built this blend off of rooibos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that too. Like how to build a blend kind of.
Yeah.
Where you kind of need a
it's like the cement in a house. Like
Yeah.
it gives you a foundation.
and build on that with flavors. Yeah.
Is this next one nettle?
The next one is nettle.
And I'm really excited because nettle is antihistamine. And out of all of these, Ganilla was just telling me that actually there's not a lot of plants that is an antihistamine. So a lot of us are taking drugs that are an antihistamine in order for us to open up our passages for breathing when we have an allergy attack or we're having a reaction to our surrounding. And I'm excited about it because I've been drinking a lot of it. And I like the flavor of it.
It's got a here we go. We'll just take this out so it doesn't keep steeping.
I'll go put this in the sink over here. Okay.
I'm from Denmark and there's stinging nettles everywhere. In every yard and playground and school and like there's stinging nettles everywhere. And
do they sting like they do?
They do. They sting and it hurts. But we also like kids will make witch's brews and it's always nettles.
Okay.
And we just mash it with cold water and put nettles and smush it and we'll drink it and it's awful.
The witch's brew?
Witch's brew. Yeah. So I have like very clear memories of drinking and eating nettles as a child. So it's not my particular favorite, but it does have it's kind of a nutty, grassy.
Oh, I think it's got kind of like a mealy kind of grassy kind of taste to it. I think it's great. But I haven't experienced it like you have. We had a little nettle bush out by our house, right? Kind of just a little bit. We all knew, don't go over there because the nettles will sting you. But it was just a small plant compared to like being all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. And it was funny because I had no idea you could drink it. So the difference between the culture is pretty prevalent in your culture and in ours. You wouldn't know that necessarily. Some people would, but so nettle is also the cool thing about them being this really powerful plant is they have amino acids.
Yeah.
And what did you learn about amino acids?
So amino acid is a protein and it helps you build and like rebuild, restore muscle and body tissue, which is essential
for our bodies. Yeah, it's also an immunity booster.
Yeah.
I believe
It's good for your hair and skin and nails. So
yeah. So this nettles is it's a potent, and it's very intentionally put in this blend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one we're going to talk about is it's the turmeric, right? The turmeric and pepper.
Turmeric and pepper. They go hand in hand.
Without the pepper, you can't really absorb. Your body can't absorb the turmeric attributes that you really want to keep.
Yeah.
Which is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It's just super powerful that way. So for swelling and things like that, just turmeric's so powerful. If you see a recipe that or something that has turmeric, make sure you look for pepper because they need to be combined in order for you to benefit from that. Well, we're talking about lemon myrtle some more. I'm going to pour this too so we can start tasting it.
I saw when I was doing my little research that the black pepper increases the body's ability to absorb the turmeric's components by 2,000%.
Makes all the difference.
It's like crazy. So if you don't have the black pepper when you eat turmeric,
it's funny because I was talking to Sonia, or the person we get tea from in India, and so she has a lot of background in this with chais and stuff, and she said, Heather, don't even bother with turmeric if you're not going to put pepper in it. Yeah. She said it's common knowledge for some cultures. Our culture, not as much, you know. This is funny, it's interesting, the things that, it's awesome actually, more than interesting. It's awesome that we get to learn about these the way different people do it and different knowledge that people have. Yeah.
But so, like supplements and all that, if there's lots of turmeric, curcumin, it's like supplements and
no pepper.
No pepper.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Be aware.
So the next ingredient that's in here is, and I'll talk a little bit about it, Ganella jump in on me on this one, but lemon myrtle we get from Australia, and it's actually a eucalyptus, and you can... Eucalyptus family, thanks. It's, what I think it's cool about it is it's antifungal, it's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It's a really potent plant actually, and it has more citrusol, which is just more citrus than any other plant out there. And you can try lemongrass and you can try lemon peel, but you try lemon myrtle and you're like, wow. It just has a sharp, not sharpness in a bad way though. I don't know if I've ever had it overbrewed.
No, it's just so lemony, but doesn't have like the sourness and all, like lemony lemon in a very pleasant way. Yeah. Yeah, and it potent have,
with the antifungal, and it's an intense. Their properties it brings to us for humans to take advantage of, I think, are very cool. A grapefruit is also included in this, and that's kind of the flavor we wanted to convey.
Yeah. So when you drink it and smell it, it is a very citrusy.
Yeah.
That lemon myrtle hits your nose straight away.
People love this blend. I know that people just, you don't have to have allergies or you don't have to be snotty to drink this tea.
No. It's a very tasty tea.
It's super tasty, yeah. It's delicious. So the grapefruit is just really kind of like icing on the top, and we included it because it's got antioxidant and it's also vitamin C.
Yeah. And it just leaves this like...
just pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our last ingredient that we're talking about is the black pepper.
Yeah.
And we included that, like we were saying, because it allows you to absorb the turmeric. So without this little ingredient here, we don't have a lot of it, but without it, you would lose a lot of the attributes that the turmeric offers. So we've used a couple words here a lot. We talked about amino acids, how they are proteins and our bodies need them for immunity and for skin growth and nail growth and whatnot. Probably helps grow our noses and our ears too, I suppose.
Our nose hairs,
all that good stuff. But we also have used the word antioxidant a lot, and you probably hear that a lot. But what is antioxidant? Well, antioxidants fight free radicals, and free radicals in your body are components that will bring diabetes, they'll bring cancer,
heart diseases,
all
kinds of diseases have been linked to free radicals.
And so things that you can do to limit free radicals is a good thing, and we call those antioxidants, things that kind of fight that, and all of these ingredients in here are doing that. Let's say you're drinking tea for the purpose of antioxidant. Well, they say that, that'll your body's in that action for a couple hours, but if you have to drink it several times a day to keep that function going. if that makes sense. So if you
Yeah.
drink it once a day, well, you really hit it hard in the morning, but then it's not still happening later on, which it has always stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's like
You gotta keep.
you got to
going.
keep going. Yeah, but there's foods too
Yeah,
that will help
lots
do
of
that.
foods.
Yeah, and so eating healthy and eating real food is awesome. But so we're tasting this tea, and like Anila mentioned earlier, it just kind of leaves a really kind of just pleasant, and then
Yeah.
smelling it, to me, it's bright. It's bright with a little bit of citrus tone in it, and it just has even though it's rooibos based, I don't really smell the rooibos itself in
No,
here.
it's not really coming through. It's
Not in
there, but it's not like an overpowering flavor. Whereas rooibos can be kind of hard to work with in blends because
yeah.
it's such a strong flavor.
I don't even taste it as much in here. Maybe just underline, like I think it's
We would
carrying
taste it
but-
if it wasn't there. Then it
Sure.
would be a completely different blend.
Sure, right.
But
right.
it's like carrying all of these things just to give it like a nice, and it's like a sweet base. But
I wouldn't say this is an overly sweet tea, but
No,
it's
not at all.
but it's not. It's it just really just has a great flavor. And the grapefruit we said is the flavor that we're trying to kind of build or kind of carry it to. It's not overly grapefruity either. It's just a really good blend. Hey, if you really liked what you learned and hearing about the Beat the Snot Out of You blend, and you want to participate next week with us when we do our tea tasting, we're going to share what the tea is on our stories. So go to Instagram, start following us there, and we'll give you a heads up, a leg up on what we'll be tasting, and you can order that or buy some of that at the tea shop, and you'll be able to do it kind of at the same time live with us while we're tasting it. I hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being interested in our tea. Take care. Bye.